If you were a kid in the 90s, I'm almost certain that your parents owned a copy of this. This is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and it's one of the coolest yet weirdest pieces of media ever made. It was a straight to VHS release that came out in 1988, and it's probably the furthest thing from your typical movie. Moonwalker is a compilation of music highlights, concert footage, music videos, a parody video, topped off with a sci-fi action mini-movie with Smooth Criminal at the center of it. Yes, I know that's a lot and it's very random, but that's the perfect way to describe MJ's brain. Now, Moonwalker did release in theaters in Europe and South America, but Warner Brothers canceled the theater release for the US, which is why it went straight to VHS for us. It spent 22 weeks at #1 on the Billboard charts, and in 1989 sold over 800,000 copies, and was certified 9 times platinum in the UK. Now, Moonwalker starts with a concert performance of Man in the Mirror. It then went into a 24-year retrospective of all his music, starting from the Jackson 5 all the way up to the Bad era, then went on to a parody version of the Bad video featuring little kids using Michael Jackson's vocals. That transitioned right into the half claymation, half live action video of Speed Demon. Then we were met with the official video for Leave Me Alone, which went on Grammy in 1990. So as you can see, none of this really flowed together. Then we entered the sci-fi action mini-movie, which featured Joe Pesci as the main villain. Michael in the mini-movie is seen as like a mythical superhero, and Joe Pesci's character, Mr. Big, is trying to negatively influence the kids with drugs. Now, as Michael is trying to fight against Mr. Biggs, things get a little crazy because there's one scene where Mike transforms into like a Lamborghini. Then at the film's climax, he transforms into a giant robot with guns coming out of his shoulders as he literally shoots up the entire block. Now, during the time of the film's release, this is when Michael Jackson's stardom had went to astronomical levels, and this is the beginning of him being overly picked at by the media. And instead of responding to the negativity in interviews, he decided to use his art as a metaphor, with Mr. Big representing the media, the children that he was protecting representing his fans and his own innocence, and him being a mysterious superhero was used as a metaphor to represent how the media basically dehumanized him and how he was no longer treated like a regular man, but instead like a mythical creature. Moonwalker then ends with a concert version of Come Together, which was Michael Jackson's Beatles cover. Moonwalker was so successful that it spawned multiple video games. All the games that released had the same name, but they each played a little bit different. Some released in arcades and others were on the Sega Master System. Moonwalker, while a bit strange, is one of Michael's most creative projects, and for years it was literally impossible to watch this movie unless you owned a VHS copy. And that's still kind of true now, except there are a few other apps where you can watch the movie for free. Moonwalker remains as one of my favorite pieces of childhood media, and I really hope they touch on this a little bit in the Michael movie.